Can you hear me okay?
Hear it?
Hey, welcome to Turn5.Live. Tonight coming from Donovan's grandmother's basement. Thank you, Grandma!
Where's the lasagna?
Oh, wait, we got audio coming on. We got to have stuff turned up. Hang on.
We got a loop.
Hang on. We're eating fudgicles.
It is a hot damn day in my grandma's basement here in Meridian, Idaho.
Bud Light, because that's what they had where I went.
Summer ale from Sam Adams.
And I want to introduce our special guest tonight is Sheba. This is Donovan's girlfriend. That's not true. She's got the Spider-Man headset on, looking like DJ Everett. On the phone, traveling, visiting family this week. We have Mr. DJ Everett. So hello, DJ. Hello.
Hey, guys. It's quite warm down here in Southern California as well. So
nice.
Yeah. I was trying to beat the heat there back in Idaho, but no luck. It's warm down here as well.
They're giving me shit because it's not Foster's. Or they no, wait. At least it's not Foster's. You got to say that with some kind of accent or something. I love our I-10 folks. Thank you very much for chiming in tonight on our show. I want to make sure we all talk about our sponsors before we get going crazy. The Flores Group.
Yep,
how could you not love I can't talk.
Right.
The fallen soldiers are sitting here. How could you not love Mr. Tony Flores and the Flores Group at Keller Williams? AC to Z Mechanical, our buddy
Mark Newman
doing the things that Mark Newman does, and everyone loves Wardles.
Right, amen to that.
Amen to that. What's the name of their company?
Lazy Days RV Rentals. If you're looking at taking off for a weekend a week, you need to pull behind a bumper pull trailer for your pickup truck. Check out Lazy Days on Facebook or the Wardles.
We should probably take a week off.
God, wouldn't that be great?
You know, next weekend is an important weekend. So maybe we'll go do. Actually, the Lucas Oil Modifieds are running in Salt Lake City. We are on summer break for the Royal Purple Modified series. Have you ever heard of them?
I never heard of her.
Never.
That's mine. You don't fucking take my joke. So anyway, great. We got 12 people watching. That's great. How many beers till the dog looks good? One. Just one beer.
That is a hot bitch.
We got to also thank, of course, Lion Tamer Beard Care. We got to thank Charmaine's lip balm, which is incredible products that we have. Our friends at Royal Purple. Our friends at the distribution company. You got to remember that.
All our FVP. Stay tuned and Safety Clean.
Yeah.
Fantastic products.
And tonight's episode is brought to you by Fudgicles.
Fudgicles.
No, you don't say fudge-sickle, dumbass. It's Fudgicle.
Fudgicle.
Yeah. You Australians, I want you to realize this is a Fudgicle.
Fudgicle.
Because I grew up in South Meridian, and we did not know how to say
in North
Fudgicle.
Meridian, it was all wrong side of the tracks there, buddy.
You're a Californian.
I'm military. I was born in Millington, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Even worse.
Right?
Loose your teeth. Those are not yours.
Look, he has his grandpa's eyes. Give them back.
DJ, what's going on with you in the world?
Oh, late made a decision here. Decided to come down here to Southern California to visit family. I was trying to make the race last night in Irwindale because the NASCAR Southwest, not the NASCAR, but the Southwest Tour was running last night at Irwindale. But that would have meant I would have had to leave Boise at 3 a.m. to try to make Irwindale.
You didn't make
time. It? That unfortunately did not happen.
Fan.
So instead, we drove through Vegas. We drove through Baker, California. I took a picture of the world largest thermometer. It's at 111 degrees yesterday in Baker, California.
Good Lord.
Put it on my Facebook.
Did you say hello to all my money in Vegas?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
Yeah, and all your women as well. And
all your women.
He doesn't know me. I've been married 30 years. I'm like the least attractive man on the planet.
Those are mine. Women. The only thing I spend money on in Vegas is buffets.
Yeah. Buffets.
I had a redhead and a brunette.
I'm telling you, buffets, buff bees, whatever it takes.
So I'm down here for about the next 10 days, roughly.
We lost Donovan. He's gone. All right, Turn5.Live tonight. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about.
Hey, I have a wicked idea. I shot down every idea for today's show last night.
You did.
I was not inebriated in any way, shape, or form. But no, we had a very interesting talk all night long in the pits. Some medium drama happening.
I didn't have any drama.
That means major.
There was a lot of great conversations happening amongst drivers and crews, and I wanted to talk about that, and that has to do with one of my top favorite cars of racing outside of the mini stocks, my modifieds. Yeah. So I happen to know a couple of people who are really well versed in modifieds. So I have questions. What the hell?
And hopefully our guests have questions.
Right.
We have guests watching our show tonight.
Right. So for the tens of you who are watching.
The tens.
The tens of you. Please feel free to.
And the hundreds more on podcasts. I got to tell you, we broke 400 people watched our podcast last week.
Something like that.
400 people watched it
live.
I wish they'd all come on live. But 400 people watched our podcast. Yep. And it's all because of our new sign.
It is. That is from Sam Newcomer, who is a newcomer to the Treasure Valley. Yeah. Made us a cool little sign there. Yeah. Sitting behind, what do we call her?
Sheba.
Beth Sheba.
No, just Sheba.
Just Sheba?
We got Sheba
said. Anyway, so please feel free to chime in questions. Todd's got his tablet here in front of him. He's able to chat with y'all. I got my computer here behind me. I can chat with y'all. But I admit I am a moron when it comes to builds, types of chassis, why, how, when, where. I love a lot of what we've been talking about the last couple of years with the aftermarket front clips and
OEM replacement clip.
Sure. And then looking at something that I see as a fan, some splinters and factions happening within the mods between what Meridian has run in the past, what they're running now, Twin, Salt Lake, Hermiston, the Royal Purple mod, the Lucas Oil mod, the Rebel mod, what they're running out with the dirt in Atomic and Pocatello.
Atomic. Wasn't that a Blondie song?
Right.
Atomic.
So I'm not a build guy because I pay for people to do that for my car, but I've been around them my whole life and I love them. They are something I'm deeply passionate about, which is why I invest a lot of my time and my money and my love into a lot of the mods and what goes on out there. So I want to talk about it. First, to start with, for people who may not know or who may just see them on the track and think they're cool, I'm going to poke Todd and DJ here, and we're going to talk about real quick, the history of the modified racing, how they came about, what they've done, how long they've done it, and where the versions and generations, basically.
All right, well, let's talk about
cars
it. If we go way back, there was always open wheel cars. Right. That's kind of the the old hard tops and so forth that came out of the world. But there was always a class of late model, street cars.
Right.
Okay. Jalopies, bombers is what they call them here in the Valley, or clunkers of some kind. And those cars evolved. They wanted to go faster and faster. So they had enough cars. They started evolving these cars. So our progression here in the Treasure Valley was from early lates, which way they were called in the old MMA days, back when Bill Crow had the track, up to bombers. And then they had limited stocks and super stocks. We had all these. But all those cars had a common denominator. They came from a street car. So the front clip before the driver's
from the
firewall forward.
That's the Beecher feet kick.
And the back of most of these cars were stock. So you had a lot of folks use the 57 Chevrolet. A lot of them used the Ford product back in the day. Everyone kind of wanted Ford to change. Product. Yeah, well, whatever they wanted. The Fairlanes and stuff were out there.
Comet.
The Polaris. No, too small wheelbase because they had a wheelbase monitoring on that. Those cars started wanting to go faster and faster, so they started changing rules and making classes better. And this is all the way back in Mobile, Alabama.
Right, and that's where I fell in love with the mods.
And even in places like that, I know somebody out there saying, I watched Madhouse 4 years ago, and they're big tire mods.
Right.
That's Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I mean, it's a small part of but they run them back east, but they don't really, from Chicago to Alabama, they don't really run big tire modifieds. But I digress. Let's go backwards.
Right.
These cars that they were running, Impalas, Chevelles, Monte Carlos, whatever it may be, they all had a stock front stub. And that stock front stub, when it came out of Detroit, was designed to turn left and turn right.
It's a street car.
Yes.
It is what Grandma and Grandpa drove every day.
So they also had a lot of nose weight. So when you went into a corner, they didn't want to turn it left. We all turn left in our race cars. They don't want to turn left as much.
We've all slammed the brakes on the 70s Capri and nosedive that bitch down.
Yeah. So they all wanted to have anyway. So we all had a stock front stub on these cars. So what the modified is in today's world, the cars that are the Royal Purple mods and Meridian Speedways,
Wheeling NASCAR,
Pit Stop USA mods, they are a stock clip type car. Okay, so the clip that's on majority of these cars is an Impala front clip. The Impala, they quit making the Impala in '87.
Yeah, the big Impala.
Yes,
not that front wheel drive piece of crap that's out.
A framed car,
right?
Full frame perimeter car, right? They quit making the car in '87. So with the metals going through the roof that they did, and they in the late 2000s, 2006, 2007, 2008, those cars all got kind of crushed. You know, there are certain
the junker thing. Yep.
Well, the metal was through the roof, so they didn't need those cars anymore. There are certain chassis manufacturers, one big one in California, who says, I got piles of them. Well, nobody else does. So what we've been doing the last 3-4 years is talking with the North State Modified Group, Mike Schloop from the Howe Group, the Left-Hander Group. We've been coming up with a OEM replacement clip. Okay, so this leads into where we're going. So you guys that know this stuff, I'm sure that you probably understand where I'm at. So I'm catching everyone else up who's kind of new.
Yeah.
And also so we can see my opinion from a common ground, at least where I'm at. We allowed in the OEM replacement clip starting this year. It has the same splay, the pickup points for the lower control arms. It has the same distance between the frame rails to that splay, height and width, right? We have templates. We can check it. It's a techable rule.
Right.
Okay? A majority of these people that have an Impala or a Monte Carlo clip, they put them in presses, they acid bath them, they do all kinds of things to move those things, massage them around so they'll turn left better than turn right, right? So we can't tech those.
You know, I just had an idea there from my favorite promoter. Let's run them the other direction.
Randy
No, promoter, Adam. Let's spin those bitches around. Let's make them. Let's get them go the other way. You want to keep them from bending shit? 25 laps left, 25 laps right.
It'd be 42% right side weight, and they'd hit the wall. Anyway, we don't want that. No, not a good program.
You like the Hornet
think
class.
we're low on car count now. Make one lap backwards.
Hornet modifieds.
Yeah, DJ's still here?
Yeah.
Or is that Sheba?
They're Hornifieds.
Thank you, DJ. I'm just fucking with you. So anyway, where we have today came from the backgrounds of modified racing.
Perfect.
Now, back east, NASCAR threw some money at it. They all went big tire. Okay. The bigger the tire, the more expensive the car to race. It does not matter. Other than what Adam did with bringing in the takeoff Goodyear.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. Good idea. And it worked.
Trust me, I'm all when that came out. I even looked at leaving my beloved Four Bangers.
For a touring series, it's kind of hard for me to tell somebody to come run in our series, and I'll sell you some used tires you can buy from me to come run.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Well, yeah, we're digressing again. So they had Adam's idea of the B modifieds, which A and B cars used to run together. So we've had cars and classes running together for years and years and years. I even remember the old Naylor Memorials where we had mini stocks and Super Sixes running together. True story. Okay, way back, all right, because they ran similar times. And he's a promoter. He knows what he's doing. So he's trying to get cars to the racetrack. We got some questions. We're going to take a break here and ask here just real quick. They're trying to get cars to the racetrack. I want to look at these questions that we're having.
Sure. You look at those real quick. DJ, while
vehicle weirdos, are they blow women? What?
Use your lips, but not the vocal cords. I'm going to ask DJ a question here.
So you want to know my background?
DJ. So I know we've all been in racing. I've been an active participant in circle track racing since the 70s. Yeah. And I know you've been around for quite a long time as well.
Yeah, you haven't been since you have. Oh well, I guess your parents were
right. No, I was in the pits in '79.
You're born like '72.
So DJ, same thing.
Yeah.
You're looking at the mods. I know you haven't driven them or raced them, but as a fan and as a viewer and as a racer, your take on all of that, real quick.
Yeah. So basically, you talked about the history that you have with modifieds, Donovan. I personally have a love with the modifieds as well. Growing up in the Northeast, where I'm basically from, New Jersey, I watched a lot of the modifieds back there, what you guys call the big tire modifieds.
Yeah,
I grew up watching
Ruggiero, Richie Evans, that kind of stuff.
Richie Evans, Maynard Troyer, Reggie Ruggiero, Mike Unitzko, Ted Christopher. Yeah. I grew up watching all those guys. And when I moved from New Jersey to California in the mid '80s, I was saddened because I did not see any type of racing like that out west.
You and me both.
It wasn't until the mid '90s, early to mid '90s, when I started attending Saugus Speedway in California, is when they started trying to replicate the East Coast Northeast modifieds, and kind of what you guys are talking about today, kind of an economical way of going modified racing. It wasn't too close to what I was used to, the big tire modifieds in the Northeast, but they did have the small tires, like you said, back then, and they did try to come as close as I could to making them look like the Northeast Modifieds. So I was happy about that. But yeah, I can understand. I can see what you guys are talking about. You know, I've been around them for a long time as well, and you know, yeah, we got different rules. We got all kinds of different stuff going on with modifieds now, which is basically, you know, tonight's conversation is all about.
Yeah.
But I do love them. I'm an open wheel fan at heart, and
okay, we're all broken in some way.
Oh yeah.
Todd's musting my dog. Hold on. Okay, so Todd, look at the couple of questions real quick. I'm gonna fix Sheba. I'll be right back.
All right, cool. No, they're not blow up women. Scott Gilligan loves the old school Pinto mods and stuff. That's what we're talking about. Richie Evans, Reggie Ruggiero, that kind of group. The fact was, those guys have millions and millions and millions of rich people to pick from. Those cars are very expensive to run. We just simply don't have that. Right. Sam Newcomer, he's built his cars, his modifieds in the past out of Camaro front clips. We have a couple Camaros that have run with us in the past.
Yep.
Been doing well. Last Camaro car I know of was Jeff Longman's first car. It ran with us, so we do have some Camaros out there as well. So there's quite a variety of different front clips people have used over the years to make their car work. And they all work. You know, it depends on the person driving them and setting them up. You can make them all work.
Well, yeah, everything is make workable.
Yeah, so let's talk about where we're at right now.
Yep.
Okay.
So that takes us to making them workable.
Yeah, let's talk. We're going to start December 2017. Fair?
December?
When
Yep.
It's a month, dumbass.
Well, yeah.
So let's talk.
Well, I wanted to go back a couple more years to kind of the split between when
A and B mods?
Yeah.
Okay,
so A and B's from and there. Yeah.
Okay. Now there was at one point there was a very healthy class of modifieds in Magic Valley.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got viewers from Salt Lake, Magic Valley. Salt Lake City, since RMR was built, okay, has always had a successful, strong modified class. Hats off to those guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been their feature class. You know, from the Madsen days to there's other Waters. There's other guys that have been fantastic down there running modifieds for years. Always been jealous of them, love them. Magic Valley had a very strong class.
Yep.
It went away, Magic Valley. They'd killed it off, and it was gone for a while. Meridian Speedway had modified starting around. Oh God, let me go 95, 96. Monty Potter, David Miniger, Darvin Ackerland, that kind of group.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so the modifieds are up and down. You know, a little bit of cyclical nature in there, a little bit.
Yeah, which we all face.
Look at that. It looks psychological. Anyway, so it kind of went up and down a little bit through phases. Well, what happened in 2010, 2011, right in that area, 2012.
Yeah, really. I came out here in 2003, started getting active at Meridian in 2008.
Yeah, and the world's never been the same.
No, it's all going downhill.
It's all screwed up. It's all screwed up now.
Anyway, yeah. So
basically, what happened there? The class grew to where it got too expensive. You had the guys who had 600 horsepower plus motors that could afford to put tires on.
Was it the Hills?
Hill,
back in the day?
Miniger, Stroll.
God, I remember watching the Hills. Those were the brothers, right?
Yeah, Tom and Jeff Hill.
Yep. God, I love watching
them. And Tom owns ESI, Engineered Structures Incorporated, here in Meridian. So money wasn't an object for those guys, but they're great guys. Chris Rattery was wrenching on those cars and doing a really good job. So there was a have and a have not. It seemed like there was no bottom end. Adam Nelson, very good promoter, and he thinks a lot about the bottom guy, just like I do in the Royal Purple Modified Series. Believe it or not, I do. He decided that he'd try to do something a bit different, and that's where the B-Mods came. He had the opportunity to get those tires, the Goodyear takeoffs from the K&N series, which incidentally dry up this year because they went to a radial tire.
Right. Rule change. Easy.
Easy. Not easy to do any rule change. You have to run this bottle cap right here on your hood. That's a rule change. That costs somebody some money. So you got to be careful when you say that.
I got lots in the bin over here.
Well, but you got to glue, and then you got to put it strategically.
Right. No, I get you. Okay, so A, B mods, they came around.
Right. So what happened there was the A mods were kind of getting pushed out, and they didn't like running with the B mods because the B mods was more of an entry level class at that time. And the current Wheeling pit stop USA.com modifieds are the B mods evolution.
Right.
Fair. So the idea came up to start the Royal Purple Modified Series, which was at the time called the Intermountain Outlaw Modified Series. I had been successful in my Pro 4 days.
And that was 14? 16?
Well, this is our 6th year.
I don't do math.
Well, that's 2012, dumbass.
Sure.
Fuck. Where did you go to high school?
Fuck, I'm in California for that.
Bomb those fucks. Yeah, Feinstein. Anyway, sorry for my language, YouTube. Sorry for my beer, YouTube.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I'm sorry for his Bud Light too. Oh, anyway, so 2012 rolls around. A mods are suffering, B mods are growing.
We averaged 9 cars the first year. We had races between Magic Valley and Boise, and we started with our program with Adam and Eddie's help.
Right.
That was always there. It's always been there. Mm-hmm. In fact, the first 4 years of this, they did my schedule.
Right. Yeah.
And I had no problem with anything that they were doing. We're friends. I mean, those are my buddies, people I care about in car racing. So during that time, we were able to get the Royal Purple title sponsorship, which is a whole other show.
Right.
We can talk about that. But we're happy doing what we're doing. This year, well, we gained some success. I mean, we had some levels of success. We were averaging over 20 cars. We were doing some pretty good. Well, those are pit passes that the tracks don't get. This is the part I get in trouble.
Right. So we don't have to go specifically into that.
So the tracks, of course, want a piece of that pie. They see,
right,
and then there's
success is coming along.
Todd pisses off somebody, throws them out of their series because they're being an idiot, or they're wrecking cars, or
as a pro tour series, right? You got to measure up, or you go get measured somewhere else.
I got to hold the rules, and I got to protect the safety of everyone and look at what's best for the class. Sometimes that is eliminating a head.
Right.
And when we do those type of things, people split. Fair. They want to go their own direction and do their own thing. And so they go to the racetrack. I want to run here. Can I run as a late model with my modified?
That never happens.
Right.
Okay, I'm the first. That's the first time. Right. So to fast forward to 2018. Okay, fair enough. We have Magic Valley modifieds.
Right.
Which, if I say that to the promoter will tell me I've had modifieds down here for years. Well, you have it in about 9.
Right. Yeah. So
until we built the class up.
Yeah. So Twin Falls dropped their mods. I remember it was at least around 2008, 2010.
Yeah, they ran what they called pro stocks and their modifieds together.
Right. But as an individual standalone 15 car count show, Pocatello had their mods. There was no mods for quite a long time, and Twin actively running. Meridian's A mods were backing down. B mods were growing.
No, they're about the same. B mods hadn't grown until the A mods went away. Yeah. Nobody really wanted to go run a B mod against
an A mod.
So as soon as the A mods were gone, and Adam was smart thinking this way, the B mod class grew.
Right, and which
now they got 8 cars?
Which from like
hang on. Think about modifieds. They got 8 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which I hope they have 25. Don't get me wrong, but let's be real. We're in today. We're not talking
start of the season. They had about 12 or 13.
They started 18.
Yeah, but you can't count. I don't count those super stocks.
So, 3 years ago, at the beginning of the year, when they really pushed out the B mods as the Wheeling mods, they allowed the Royal Purple rules. They did a little bit of a changeover when CJ's rookie year came out. A couple other folks came out, and I think they started the first 2 or 3 races with almost 20 cars.
Yeah, okay.
That was impressive.
But I fast forward to 2018.
Right. So yeah, it was healthy, and then it died real fast.
We were healthy, and they were healthy. Everybody was healthy.
Right.
Okay. Long about April of 2017, I got a call from a certain. I'm going to leave the name out of this.
It wasn't me.
They all know who it is, and I'm not going to go there. Supers never ran with those guys. No, not ever. Not with the Royal Purple mods, no. Street Stock 51, I'm not sure who you are. Y'all need your name to know that. But not with the Royal Purple mods, no.
Yeah, no, Royal Purple's always just been the Royal Purple mods.
And we always will be. Looking at what happened here, about April 2017, I got a phone call. Hey, old buddy, can I run this type of car? No, it's a late model front clip. No,
that's the OEM replacement front clip style.
Not an OEM replacement front clip. Okay, a late model front clip, you can put the parts where you want to put the parts. It's not a reproduction of what a 1987 Impala is.
It's no longer a street car.
It's a late model.
With a mod body on it.
Right. Okay.
So that's the difference.
The name that you're familiar with, that DJ's familiar with, and I'm familiar with is Troyer Manufacturing out of Connecticut that builds Troyer mods, right? We're going to run Troyer mods and all this shit. Well, my buddy Steve up in Spokane had a knockoff of a Troyer mod that raced last night. Steve Hudson, nice man. And we let him run with us a couple of times because there was a class in the Northwest called the Northwest Modified Racing Association. They were 12-to-1 motor, 11-to-1 motors, any carburetor you wanted, big tires, 12-inch wheels, big tires, late model coil-over front end. Put anything anywhere you want it so the thing will turn left on a dime, right? They should have flown past us. Our Royal Purple mods pretty much kicked his ass everywhere we went. Because our guys had done their homework. Maybe Steve didn't have the horsepower they did, whatever. But I let him run with us a couple of times for car count in places like State Line and Hermiston. Okay, Steve's a friend of mine. No issue there. Well, this guy that called me up last year about April, I told him, don't buy that car. It's not legal anywhere. Well, I'm an old dude and I'm sick and this and that. You can let me run it. No. Won't you let me run? I won't run for pair of points. No. I'm not opening the Pandora's box because if I give it to you, I give it to Danny Christianity, I give it to Neil Latham, I give it to all these other guys who are not going to be old guy.
We're going to back that down. We're going to walk that down just a sec here. Let's talk about and again where last night's conversations where I was literally just captivated watching several guys talk about it was the differences in the rules and how and why there were cars that ran the same times that were together and the same times that were apart, and why that division was happening. So, so we do get that a new class was created.
A new class was created called the Rebel Modified.
Because it didn't.
Sounds a lot like the Outlaw mods to me. But anyway, whatever.
But so basically, several cars were made available that did not fit into what would be considered a standard modified race car, which was a stock front clip of a daily driver car, because they were basically a late model front clip.
No piece of that car has ever been on the racetrack. Or
on a road course, on a street car. Yeah.
And it's not the pickup points, the splay we talked about earlier, the differences between the frame rail to the lower control arms.
So it is a truly purpose-built
center and how the car turns.
Right. So it's a true purpose-built race car. And I just, and again, and DJ and Todd, and I'm very emphatic about my belief. I get off harder than anybody to cars that should not be driving a circle track. I drive a front wheel drive Honda. That's again a part of my love of street stocks, big heavy ass cars that are trying their hardest to make a left hand turn as well as they can, and my love of modifieds. In that, I think that takes that philosophy to about the limit.
It does, yeah,
when you take a car that has no business going, fast around a left-hand corner that's tight and making it happen. Beyond that, then you go into a race car, not a street car that is raced.
So let's talk about the division last night. Yeah. So we had what they called Rebel Modifieds. There was 4 of them that were actually true late model style front ends.
Right.
Now, there are a person or two that will scream at me, these aren't late models. You take the fenders off a late model, it's the same damn car.
Right.
And
you strip the bodies off, they look the same.
I'm not dumb.
Are you?
I've been around a little while. So, not as dumb as I dumb down to be sometimes.
It's the hairline that fools us.
Fuck you, world. So,
he's a good-looking man.
Take a breath. Take a breath.
Too.
I know.
Go to California and stay. God damn it.
DJ.
Let's look at that. So there were 4 cars that came out. They built a group.
Right.
Adam told them that if they got 6 of them, they can make a class. Great. I'm all for innovation, stuff like that. The problem is that it's completely different. It's Pandora's box that we open the lid on.
Mm-hmm.
Adam being objective,
just
trying to help everybody
models.
out. Okay. Adam being nice about it.
Mm-hmm.
He was being very nice. Let him run. All right. So what happened there was within the Pit Stop USA modified series, there was some discrepancies because he had allowed prior to that the Royal Purple Modified Series, you and I series.
Yeah, the rule package.
Let's face it, you're my sponsor. Mm-hmm. They let that rule package in to run with the Pit Stop USA cars, essentially the B mods.
And that was years ago, though.
When they started.
Yeah. And just no one has actually taken them up on that.
Oh, no.
Much.
No, Fenton did.
This year. Well, he didn't run last year.
Strobel did.
That's true.
Yeah, there's been cars
here and there. Yeah.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So he's let them in. Well, certain cars did. This year there was a penalty, whatever that happened. So since Adam would like to have 20 car fields, just like everyone else would,
right?
He wants to put on a show for his fans. He's a promoter first and a good one.
Mm-hmm.
what he chose to do was allow the Rebel Modified group with their late model front clips to come run as pit stop modifieds at the same time. So certain cars took advantage of the rules, went down and paid their entry fee over to the Rebel Modifieds, bolted on their tire.
The Rebel Modified class
Rebel Modified, there is none.
Perfect.
It's got to be a used tire. So they put on used late model tires that were scuffed and went out and flat kicked everyone's ass.
Gently scuffed.
Gently scuffed. 700 horsepower you can get to the ground with that tire. You cannot get it. In the Royal Purple Series, we run the Hoosier 970. You cannot get that power down.
Right.
Ask anyone who run Hermiston. They cannot get full throttle.
You can't even get full throttle on Meridian.
For that matter.
Abe Carter kept trying.
He had some power too, didn't he? He's almost got that thing back together. He's better than me.
Does he? Oh my God. So anyway,
I digress again. So going back to what we saw last night. What we saw last night essentially was the Rebel Modifieds wanted their own race. Right?
Right.
They want to showcase their deal. They want their own race. Adam acquiesced and let them have their own race. Fair?
Sure.
So a lot of the teams chose to run Rebel mods, which they had 9 cars, right?
There was more registered Rebel mods than registered
pit stop
USA mods.
If you throw out the
take out the late models who were running with them, which shouldn't. Okay, yeah, super stocks.
Yeah. And the super stocks, they want to come run. They want that car count. And it's easy for me to see why you want car count. There's a bunch of reasons. One, it looks better for the fans. Two, it looks,
yeah.
It looks also better on paper. You also are getting points.
NASCAR points.
Yeah, NASCAR points. I don't blame them. Both of these tracks, when they went NASCAR, that was one thing that they wanted to do was promote their champions and have people win their championships. It's a good deal. It's a big deal. So they wanted as many cars as possible. Magic Valley Speedway is not immune to that, trust me. And I can go way back to my wife's cousin, Jerry Bowers, having the same issue back at Yakima.
Not Turn5.Dive. I know we need to change that. It looks like Dive Live.
Sorry. Well, newcomer, they're saying that your sign looks like new car Turn5.Dive. I don't understand.
Well, it kind of is a dive,
watching
isn't it?
tonight. He's the guy that made that sign. He's a badass.
That's
their bitchin' sign. We love Sam Newcomer. I've known Sam a long time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you guys ran Pro 4s a long time ago.
It is
long time.
It is a dive.
He was a good dude.
It is a dive. This is a dive. Best dive bar
your grandma's listening.
In my house right here.
It's not your house. It's your grandma's house.
Grandma's
basement. That's not true. This is really Donald's house.
Doing lasagna tonight.
Where's my lasagna?
Give me my lasagna. So anyway, so where we are now. This is where we are now as far as Meridian Speedway goes. Let's talk about Magic Valley Speedway.
Right. Who has their own mod series, and then I want to get closer to the ending with RMR Salt Lake. DJ, so on your end there, so we have multiple mod series now. We've got our pitstopusa.com wheel-in mods. We have which encompasses or allows late models or super stocks, allows Royal Purple mods. So we have 3 different cars running in there, and then we have our late model / Rebel mods and to watch. And this was me as I'm standing in the pits. I'm talking to Christiani, Telford, Todd here, a couple other guys, and we're having a really, I would consider, a fascinating conversation on what in the world is happening. Excuse me. And we had 3 50-lap mains last night of mods. And I'm standing there. Which, by the way, holy shit! Last night, and I hate to do this to the fans who are looking for our regular show. Holy shit, we had some awesome racing last night, top to bottom. Those freaking kids, I cannot say this enough. Those freaking junior stingers put on a damn show. It was a great freaking show. Go on Fans Choice. Go check it out. But the whole time I'm sitting here and I'm watching 3 different 50-lap mod races going, why aren't these 20 cars in a 20-car mod race? And I'm like, why? And I'm talking to everybody. Everyone's talking about it. I'm like, but put them the fuck together. They're all running within a 10th or 2 of each other. Each grouping, we had, you had the 70 and the 7 who are running mid-13s. In the pitstopusa.com wheel-in modified. I love saying that time and time again. And And then we have on the Rebel side, you had Daytona just
that was a battle between her and Fenton, wasn't it? Daytona, Daytona
DJ.
Works took out Daryl Doling's Royal Purple Modified Series car, put the late model tires on it. She didn't use them for the last Big 5 race. Yeah. And her and Chris Fenton were going to lap the field. They were going to lap the field of Rebel mods by a lap and a half.
Oh my God,
Daytona couldn't be more than a foot off Chris Fenton's bumper all the way around the racetrack. She finally lost it a little bit going into one. I talked to her about it afterwards.
She kept looking high because Fenton wasn't going to give her an inch.
No, they were both flying. They were trying 13.5s, 13.3s.
And Daytona was visually the superior car by a millimeter every lap. And it was such, and not only that, let's take their 2-car race, back that up 0.4 of a second, and you had basically the 4 Rebel mods.
They're all running to
Davis, Parker,
Kepley,
and
Dave Jr.
Yeah, Jr. Those guys, they put on a freaking show too. They had a 4-car battle that was oh my god, the whole time. And I'm like, good, add 10 more cars to this, and they're all running pack wise. You go through the not fans choice, but the race monitor. Their lap times for that group was within 1/10 of the same 4 or 5 cars running in.
Sure.
And it's like, why can't we have this be a 20-car fucking field?
You want me to answer that?
No, I don't, because I know what you're going to say. So, DJ, on your end, I'm going to give Todd a break because he likes to talk a lot. So you're up in the booth. You're calling these races, and visually, and me, I'm a fan. I know that they're sheet metal on some tubes, and they're pretty. When you're calling these races and you're showing 10 cars in one class, 10 cars in another class, and they all look the same, -2 super stocks. What picture are you trying to paint? What are you seeing when you see this and you have fans asking you about what's going on?
Well, as an announcer, whether you have 5 cars in a class, 10 cars in a class, sometimes 3 cars in a class, it's up to us as an announcer to try to make it somewhat sound exciting to the fans somehow. Sometimes that's tough to do. So we've had classes out there was only 3 cars and 4 cars, and they're all strung out all around the racetrack. And it's we try our best to try to make it sound exciting. But sometimes we get fans that come up to us and say, why do we have 2 different classes of modifieds here tonight? And you have to try to, with the fans, you sometimes have to just kind of spell it out to them in the most simplest form. We got 2 modified classes because they've got 2 separate rules. It's one modified's not going to fit in with the other because there's just the rules are just different. You just got to kind of simplify it for them. They're not going to really understand it if you try to get too technical. Like the way Todd's been around it for a long time, so he knows the technical side of it.
He's like dumb stupid. Or stupid dumb.
So you just gotta, you have to do the best you can. You have to kind of spell it out to the fans, simplify it for them. We got 2 separate classes because we have 2 separate rules. But I agree with you, Donovan. It'd be so nice to have just put them all, and together and have 20 cars out there and just let them run. But I know Todd, has an answer for that as well. So
what answer does not Todd have? What Todd does not have answer have? I don't fucking know anymore.
Look at this giant head. It's full of info.
I know.
Look at the skull. I got a 7 5/8 head.
Mine's bigger.
It's true. I can't find hats. I got a giant cranium, Pro Magnum or whatever they call it.
But I want to follow that up. I mean, DJ, you were saying that you've got to find a way to paint the picture there.
Definitely.
On your end, when you see 10 cars that are identical to 10 cars, and somebody's asking you the question, what is your take on that, and how do you present that to? And again, I don't want to. How do you present that to the Donovans of the world? I will take that.
As much as deep down inside, I want to tell the fan, what, it sucks because I'd rather have them all run together. As announcers, we kind of represent the track, and we kind of have to support what the track does.
Of course.
So we have to, as much as I hate to see it, I'd rather have them all run together. We have to explain to them why there is 2 classes, and
and Adam's doing his best to make a great show for everybody. He does a great job.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Getting back to it, let's talk about the other racetracks.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to jump over to
Salt Lake City. Let's talk about
So I want to do Salt Lake last.
And let's talk about Pocatello.
Right.
The group in Pocatello is really a tight-knit bunch. They're a bunch of good friends, and I like each one of them.
They've all been together forever. That's like the
Eric,
best high
Mike
school,
Fulmer, Brad Hunsaker,
high school best
Tiplish.
friends who never broke up.
Yeah, well, they're all a good bunch of guys,
right?
You know, Tony Pulley sold his card, Eric Weimer, but you know, the good friends. I like them. Every time I've been over there, I've been treated like a friend to them, and that's real tough when you're from a different area and you come in. They've always treated me with like one of them, like I fit in, and you know, Brad Hunsaker's like family. I think we're kindred spirits in so many ways.
He's like the naughty uncle I've always wanted in my family.
Yeah, and his son is escaping me, Brandon. He's the track champion over there.
Kiplish and Brandon
Watt.
Yeah,
Brendan Watt. They've been running really good. The beautiful cars. Brad's always had beautiful race cars. So Pocatello's got a program over there that's been through a little bit of turmoil this year. They try to keep the majority of it off of social media on purpose so that they can build the crowd count out there. And maybe we ought to learn from that.
What?
But if you listen,
I can think of like 3 names off the top of my head that we can just delete from social media. Would be good.
I'm one of them. But the group over in Pocatello, the track's a difficult place. It's tough to go win there. And to set your car up in Pocatello, if you're good there, you can run anywhere.
Oh God, Pocatello's my favorite track.
Yes, Neil Latham would say that too. Yeah, he's won many times. He won
he's my favorite
there a few times. So when we go back and look at Pocatello, strong group, they have about 10 cars, and if we got them all together, it would be with us at a certain time. It would be great. They're essentially the same rules as the Royal Purple Modified Series with the 970 tire. So, you know, having those guys do that, DJ, is fantastic. Donovan left us for a minute, so it's just you and I, by the way.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
So I'm talking to you, and people are watching me talk to nobody. So it's just really, I'm talking to the dog. That'd be great. But so that's Pocatello. And hats off to those guys making it work over there. They got promoters over there that they aren't interested in paying what we can do, what we need right now. But Jerry Bailey had us over twice when he owned the racetrack or promoted the racetrack and did a great job over there. Great deal. Moving on to Magic Valley. Like I mentioned prior in the show tonight, Magic Valley's always had a modified program in their mind, though they haven't for a long time. They brought them back this year. Their high car count was 5. When you were there, right? You were announcing that night they had 5.
I was there for one of them. Yep.
Yeah. So they have 5 of them, and they're running essentially Royal Purple Modified rules with once again late model tires.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that will cost us in the end. People that are listening, I hope you understand the 970 tire is cheaper to run. If you throw a ton of motor at that late model tire, it'll hook up. You don't need a ton of motor to make a 970 run. Not at all. A 970 tire limits how much money you need to spend in your motor. Okay.
And the tire itself puts on just as good of a show, you know, than any other tire out there.
The fan doesn't care. If the cars are a second slower, the fan doesn't give a shit.
Right.
I mean, if I decided, hey, you know what, August 4th, Meridian Speedway, we're all going to run brand new 2040s or 3050s or whatever we're going to run for a Hoosier late model tire. We'd set the track record by 3/4 of a second faster. Because the teams that run with us really have their crap together, and it was obvious watching Fenton run the Rebel Modified race last night that him and Wirtz's car were going to lap those guys in about 15 laps.
Yeah,
you know, and unfortunately, you know, that's the case. Maybe they have some different motors or something. I'm not certain. Maybe there's a rule that I'm not catching, but you know, Randy and David and Mike and Donovan Parker and those guys, they're doing great. But these guys that I'm talking about in the Royal Purple Series have been running modifieds a long ass time, and they're good at them, right?
Right.
And so Scotty Gilligan's telling me they run the 970 at Magic Valley Speedway, so that's good. I thought they were on a late model tire. I know Abe Carter went down there and ran, and Eddie gave him Hoosiers, and he ran one night or something and ran at the late models or something. But they're not going to turn away a car. So
yeah.
So if they're on the 970, that's good because that's much better for that that group. But we didn't have them. The Magic Valley Modified Series was built after Warp, after our schedules, everything. All of a sudden, hey, we're going to modify it when you're not running, Todd. Okay. The health of the racetrack is much more important than the health of the Royal Purple Modified Series. And that's one thing that's got to be said on this program tonight. The health of the racetrack is more important than the health of the Royal Purple Modified Series, because they're not making any more racetracks. In fact, we're losing them. We need to make certain that these racetracks stay profitable and stay. We have to, or our sport will die. So that's why I'm not jumping up and down on a table going nuts. You know what I mean? And thank you for all the nice comments on Facebook Live, or on on YouTube. Thank you very much for the nice comments. All right, moving on to Salt Lake City. If you're going to get in here for Salt Lake City, you better hurry up. Okay, let's talk about Salt Lake City. Tip, everybody raise your beer and point it towards your computer screen and tip your hat to the guys that run down at Rocky Mountain Raceways. This is the final year for that racetrack and that modified group down there. What a classy, good bunch of fun guys to run with. And
what a solid group, too. I mean, aren't they turning out 20 cars, roughly?
24, 25 cars. Mike Eames has done a great job with them this year, putting the purses up there. They all very competitive. There's 14, 15, 16, 20 of them that can win a race at any given time.
Yep.
We have a Donovan sighting. He didn't bring me a fudgicle, which pisses me off. But no, you're good. Sit down, put your headphones on. I need you. No, I brought extras. Look at your own goddamn beer. Oh. I'm talking to these people. I'm trying to talk to these people.
Oh my God.
Is that what you call it? You're trying to talk to them?
Fuck. You got to see it. I do want a fudgicle, because we're going to let you talk here for a bit, because my talker's broken. But my talker's broken.
Stop saying fudgicle.
Fuck. So talking about Rocky Mountain Raceways, I know I'm not kissing anybody's ass down there. The guys are doing great. They run a crate engine. Those of you to back up, those of you that might not be paying attention to what's going on down there, they run the 602 crate, which is Chevy's Chevrolet Performance's entry-level V8 motor. It produces about 300 horsepower. It's a very solid motor. It doesn't break.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Very rare you have one blow up.
I'll break one.
If usually the ones that have been blown up are the ones that are cheated up. And they use some coating. And are you back?
Yeah,
Donovan's back.
So I had a kid emergency. He went to go plug in the TV, turn on the TV, and wouldn't turn on. And he unplugged it to plug in his charger for his iPad.
That would be the end of
That's who it was when I heard.
There was an almost meltdown happening.
So the guys at RMR. So we're finishing up where we're at right now. Right?
I was listening. You're loud enough to go all the way upstairs through the neighborhood. My neighbors are listening.
He's
I'm
just
gonna
loud.
gut you like a trout. So anyway, the group down in Salt Lake, they got a problem. They got a place. They have no place to run next year. So I put it out on our social media page here just to get some stuff rolling, because I know it's July and we need to worry about this.
You got to start Christmas early.
These guys need to know what they're going to do with their hobby.
Yeah,
and I hope they appreciate that, because it puts me out there to be a bad guy sometimes when I stick my neck out and say, "Hey, what do you want to do?"
There's gonna be plenty of people come courting.
We've got
what's been the feedback so far, Todd, on that? I know you put it out there during the week. It's been pretty positive.
Well, as much as people have seen, there was 129 or so posts or something on the comments on it, and there was probably 129 messages to me. So we had 47 different drivers in the Royal Purple Modified Series last year, and they've had about 27 different drivers at Salt Lake last year. So it's 47 and 27, 74.
We already talked about that. I don't do math.
I do. So 74.
314.
74? Yeah, 74, something like that. Different opinions. There's 74. In other words, there's 74 different opinions on what should happen next year.
Right. Plus team owners and everybody else and fans. And if you're curious, the RP Modifieds on Facebook, look them up.
RP Modified group page. But you got to ask to be a member. It's the old A-Mod place. I'm an admin. Adam's an admin. We'll let you in. Adam Nelson.
Yeah. So we've got so you talked about the motors are running down there with 602 crate. They're running
with any carburetor.
Well, yeah, and that's fair. It's a small, fantastic motor on a lightweight car, relatively lightweight car. Makes for great racing. And they are running the 970, or they're running the
run 970 Hoosier.
There. So I mean, it's fantastic.
That's all you need.
And there's a great group of guys down there. Todd is deep throating 4 inches of brown right now.
First time for everything.
I don't think that's the first.
Nobody's got 4 inches. Braggers.
I want to say that 602 crate motor combination with the 970 tire, it just works.
That seems like a dream in my world.
The Pro Truck series uses that combination as well, and you see how those guys. It just that combination right there just works.
I know, DJ, you and I come from the same route of modified racing, which is the big motor, big tire.
Route.
So from my world, when I close my eyes and I think modified, I think back to that 1970s body style with those big 12-inch slicks and just screaming loud motors. And then, of course, in 88, going to California and seeing these skinny ass hard rubbers with big motors trying to go around Roseville's All-American Speedway and just hearing that tire chatter, which is an alien to me when I was doing that. But you quickly learn to love it because it's even harder, and it's even I would say more of a driver's challenge to pilot what we have out here on the West Coast.
And the cost was half of what.
Oh yeah.
What I grew up watching back east in the Northeast. So
we are at our little bull ring, All American Speedway, quarter mile of crazy high banked back then before they repaved, and watching those cars run. And then when you hear the dollar figures, we were running a mini. Well, my dad's running late model. We totaled out our late model, ran mini stock, and those guys weren't. There were a great price point between a late model and a mini. The dog is looking at me.
As much as I miss watching, when I moved out west, I miss watching Richie Evans and Van Troyer and Jeff Bodine and those guys. I grew accustomed to liking the modifieds out here on the West Coast.
Ricky Bobby.
They put on just a flat out good show.
Right. And so when I look at the videos that I see on Fans Choice of RMR and their 18, 20 car fields down there, and when you know that as a competitor / fan, when you hear they're all on a 602 and all on a matching class tire, and they're able to run the times and the competitiveness that they're running, which is you and I have talked about it tons of times. Man, the pro trucks are just freaking exciting.
Yes.
And the fact that you have basically the same type of setup with those mods down there, boo yeah, I want to watch that. So bringing that up to today, and when we're looking at RMR closing, which is saddening every time you think about it, and you think about
I want to throw up.
Right. And you think about what the possibilities and opportunities are for RMR, for Twin, for Meridian, and ultimately, when you start looking at, where do the guys who's got the money and the time and the patience and the knowledge go to, which is going to be the Royal Purple Mods.
Yep.
What do you do, and how do you compete, and how does me? I always go with a rising tide lifts all ships. One ship sinking can lift multiple other ships. How do we get Pocatello to get a better class? How do we get Twin to get a better class? How do we get Meridian to get their class? And all of those to feed into, which for me is the Royal Purple Modifieds and the tour mod mentality of what we have here in the Northwest. That's when going through all of this last night and listening to each driver and each crew chief and each car owner and Todd and everyone, it's a pretty big deal last night of what was unfolding. And it was one of those ones where, again, I've never driven a mod. I've backed one up once. So I think that's about my limit of my modified driving. It's just,
keep it that way. By court order,
excuse me, I did drive a mini mod.
You called that driving?
I called it like practicing it during a main.
That's not a mod.
Jerk. You had my back.
I said it for Todd. There. That's not a mod.
Thank you.
I am anxious and I am excited for what that future holds for all of these series, and for what I love is that competition level. At the mid level and that competition level at the high level. I want to see the best of the best drive to, like watching Daytona and Fenn last night. That was the highlight of, I'd say, for weeks worth of racing.
In my perfect world, and it's never going to work, but the tracks would have like a 602 on the 970, and the Tour, which happens to be right now the Royal Purple Series, would have open motors 970s, and when we came to each track, those guys could put in a motor or run their 602s with us on the 970s. But
that would be hard to compete at Twin with that. Maybe.
Well, Patrick Gold would know. He's listening tonight.
Right. And I saw him post up there earlier.
Yeah, because he did that this year.
Yeah.
And he heard his big motor, so he ran a 602. I begged him to come up, and he did. Thank you, Patrick. But it is tough. It is tough to run. And here's the thing. There's too many damn cooks right now.
Do you think? And there's too many damn recipes.
Let me get this off. This is yes. There's too many cooks. There's too many chiefs. There's not enough Indians. The tracks have to be a chief. There should be another chief. And everybody else needs to just follow suit a little bit. We've got too many recipes. We're not going to end up with a good cake. My pledge to the people that choose to come run the Royal Purple Series is they'll have a voice, they'll have a place to race the race car. So when I put it out there that, hey, maybe we could have a series within a series, this is what I did, DJ. I said maybe we could have a series within a series, let the 602s run with us with the rules that they currently have from Rocky Mountain Raceway, run within our series. We'd have a separate winner, separate champion. Some of those cars are going to be very competitive with the 602, right? They're going to start where they qualify and run. I got a lot of shit from that, from people that have the open motors and stuff. Hey, screw it, they can build a motor. Well, it's not their money they're talking about. Let them go spend thousands. Well, the thing is, the 602 is more than cost savings. It's also reliable. You buy one. I know that Austin Lutmer's motor's got 13 years on it or something stupid like that.
Yeah,
and it runs fine.
I was reading through his posts,
and it runs fine. A lot of these motors have a lot of years on them, and they're running fine. And so they're doing something right. They had 24 cars down there. Granted, they got 1.3 million people to pick from when all of Idaho isn't that ding size, right?
I think
metro area.
I think Idaho has maybe like 7 more people than the greater Salt Lake area.
Well, you know what I do for a living, so I know those numbers. So I know what they're pulling from. They got a lot of folks down there. They got a lot of sponsorship opportunities with Rocky Mountain, and it's the feature class. They're made special, and they do great. They do great. So anyway, I feel like we got too many damn chiefs.
Right. And that's where
6 years ago I thought they vested the touring series with myself, the two powers that be that own racetracks. But maybe it's changed. And okay, let's just talk about it. Let's get on the same page so that we can better racing in this area.
Right.
We can't afford the tracks not to have every car can possibly come to each race. We can't afford to let people slip away. The group in Salt Lake is a great bunch of guys. We want them to come run with us. Heck
yeah.
How do we do that to where they feel comfortable? How do we do that with their pocketbook? How do we do that? So we're still in the present still. We're not in the future. We're not looking in the crystal ball yet, but I don't have the answers yet. That's why we put it out in July so we can start working towards the solution.
Right. And that's where I want to talk about this tonight and to be an exclusive on this tonight.
Yeah. And by the way, I got to back up here. Donovan begged me to do this show.
I didn't beg.
You pleaded.
No. I told you this is what we're going to do tonight.
Yeah, we weren't going to do
there was no option.
It was this way. So this show was going to be, we were going to talk about Montana 200, NASCAR.
You were throwing out, well, let's interview this guy. I'm like, nah.
No, he wouldn't let me. So
you bounced off like
no Formula One tonight.
No, Todd last night and today, all he kept doing was let's talk about it. I'm like, nah.
Let's get this guy. No.
I mean, when we've beaten this dead horse completely dead, and then brought it back to life and beat it a little more, then we can talk about something else, which I think we're doing a pretty good job right now.
Said beat it.
Beat it. Beat the horse.
Really quick, Donovan, before you start, just an extension of what Todd said. In racing, a lot of people, they can come up with these ideas, and a lot of people are like, you know what, this is my idea. Either follow it or you guys.
Right. Oh my God.
You guys go to HE double hockey sticks, okay?
But
you know what? It should be.
Damn good point.
Let's work together. and let's get these cars together and let's do some great racing instead.
That's
what it should be.
I support that concept 100%. Todd and I had that exact.
I know you guys know that. I just wanted to kind of put it out there.
If you don't cater to me, I'm not going to bring my race car. Then you won't have a place to race.
Right?
Oh,
and that's
right.
Again, I cannot. This I have a hard time with this because I don't have the words for it yet, and I think if I keep saying it out loud at some point, I will have the word for it. I love what from every racetrack I've ever been to, from Alabama to Georgia to California, all over California, the Midwest, going to college. Adam Nelson does the best job I've seen as a small track promoter. I don't think there's anybody in the single track racing today.
Third generation guy, and he's seen the mistakes made and learned from them. That's why he's good.
My biggest issue with the picture at most tracks, and Meridian included, is too many classes. That we have 4 Hornet classes. We have so many, and so many things overlap, and then you end up getting multiple classes in one race together when they allow the super stocks in with the modifieds, when they allow other cars to come in with other cars. It for me as a fan and in the stands watching, I it rubs me the wrong way, and I don't have the words for that yet, and I want to clear them out. But like the too many chiefs, too many recipes, and too few pots to cook in. I want desperately to see on a fan's perspective, and as a competitor, I know when there's a rule, and the rule is XYZ, and I know I can massage in a little bit of A and a little bit of J in with the XYZ and not be caught. I want to be able to do that. I don't want a whole new class made just because I can do that.
Or because you went and bought a car that doesn't fit the rules.
Right. But to narrow those down and then to go, sorry, you bought a car, you dumbass. Did you not read the rules before you bought it? Or did you not check with the owner or the person who enforces the rules before you spent your dollars? Because that's just dumb dollar spending at that point. Move. I mean, if you're going to buy a $20,000 race car, go move somewhere you can run it. Or spend your money better.
You're getting a lot of love there,
right? Yeah, I don't fucking care.
Oh, they're hitting you.
Oh, okay. It's behind me.
They're saying good job, dumbass.
Don't good. Yeah, thanks. Right. No, it's just it's not like you didn't know Meridian Speedway was here, and then like who doesn't have an internet?
Well, I went and bought that car.
Right.
I told you it was illegal. Well, you'll let me.
Todd, slow down. Back, slow your roll. I told you I'm going to keep you in check. Anyway, I would desperately want to see a collusion. Everyone kind of coming together. Cohesion. And for more of these guys to just because someone will let you do it doesn't mean it's right and that you should. And if you're going to build a car, build it to a spec rule or to the rules and be able to race it within that and grow and foster that series. And if you only have 4, 5, 6 cars, find a way to tune them up or tune them down, kill that one and grow out another one.
Donovan, I totally agree with what you're saying. I 100%. The only thing I can see about that is, you get different drivers out there. Okay, take one driver. I want to go sprint car racing.
Great. Here's a sprint car. Go racing.
But I don't have enough money to go wing sprint car racing.
Well, then shut the fuck up. Go build a mini stock and go racing.
Yeah, or hey, I've got $100,000 to go wing sprint car racing. I want to do that instead.
Yeah.
So, but I totally agree.
King of the wing. Go for it.
I see what you're saying. It'd be nice just to
simplify the recipes.
Yeah.
Simplify what we've got, and make. And here's here's the thing that Telford made a comment on it, and I wanted to refine that. A path, a direction for someone who's interested in racing. To be able to come in and then have a logical place for them to go, followed by a logical place for them to go, and followed by a logical place for them to go. As you
feeder series,
right? And every time I've looked at
mini stocks to Pro 4s,
well, the hard part with mini stocks to Pro 4s, that's a big fucking jump.
It is now. I mean, but he was talking legends,
right?
Legends to B mods to Royal Purple mods,
right? But so and that's what he was saying. But from my side of it if I'm nobody and I go to the track and I think that's really freaking cool, or some of the junior stinger kids who I got to hang out with this year, like, stop having the dog look at me, it's weird. Is for the kids, and that's what I keep looking at. Who are my junior stingers, high school tuners, Hornet drivers? Where are they going to go? Well, to mini stocks. Well, if they're front wheel drive and they've got now 7 years experience front wheel drive, where do they go? If they want to continue racing and they want to get faster, now you got to go learn a rear wheel drive.
We've had front wheel drive Pro 4 cars,
right? But I mean, so having a path that someone can follow. Me, I have long loved asphalt sprint cars as a top level series. I don't like the wing sprints. I like the ISRLs. I like the Super 6. I love the Super 6s. But for me to jump in there, I got to drive Bachman's car last year, and that was terrifying. Just absolutely terrifying. I loved it, but it was terrifying. And making that jump, to go from a rear wheel drive claimer, and we'll talk about what a claimer is later. But to go from a rear drive claimer to a super stock to a modified, what's that logical progression? Why would driver A want to go, hey, I want to make a race car and travel that route? And you build the cheapest bomber, which, oh god, please, no one build a fucking bomber. Build something safe. Keep your life. It's worth it. You build a claimer stock, and then where do you go? Claimer, super.
It's a debatable thing.
And we'll talk. That's another show too. But where's that path, and how do you show that path to somebody new and someone who's mid-level experienced? Because oh my god, there's so many amazing things we do on this in this world of racing. And to take these kids of today, the little Zach Telford, the junior, again, I go back to the junior stingers. That class is so freaking amazing. They have so many kids who can drive.
Yeah,
and get them into. Go ahead.
Talking about Donovan, you were saying maybe the ISRL should be like the top level in sprint car racing. Maybe at these local tracks, they should try to keep it cost effective to where ISL would be the top level of racing. If you want to go further in sprint car racing, then join on with the NSRA or join on with the King of Link, join the touring series. If you want to go further,
I love that the ISRL put on the wings and allowed them to do that with a couple of weeks ago.
That wasn't the ISRL.
Not ISRL. I'm sorry. Pepsi sprint cars. They're again in my dumb eyes. They're big tires in the back, smaller tires in the front with the
Pepsi sprint cars are V8.
Right. Well, but the ISRL runs V8s.
They allow them
they allow
because they want car count.
Right. So but when you're looking at that and that development line, having a clear line of progression, and not that you can't jump from one class to another class and follow that line of progression, but simplify and rule enforcement. Very stringent rule enforcement and progression.
Yeah, better to have 5 classes of 20 cars than having 10
20 classes of 5 cars.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
let's look in the crystal ball.
Yeah. Well,
it's 8:08. Let's look at the crystal ball a little bit. The show was built. Those of you following along, the show was built on how did we get here. Right. Where are we at, and then where are we going? That's what's on the whiteboard that you can't see off camera.
I wrote that shit down. I'm like, fuckers, this is what we're doing.
He wrote it down at 6:52 or something.
Well, after I beat your head sitting here, you're like, oh, we can't talk about it. I'm like, no, we're going to talk about it. We're doing it. I did with my words.
Verbal judo.
Your words.
With my words. So yeah, so we're looking forward. We've got. With RMR closing, we've got a huge opportunity for a lot of people and a lot of tracks and a lot of fans and a lot of new potential racers. Sam Newcomer, not new. Well, Sam's not new. No. Sam is building a car.
No, he's got them. He's built like 10 of them.
Right. Sam's got an entire race shop. Hey guys, if you want to work on your race car, get anything custom made, check out Sam Newcomer. Hit us up here at Turn 5 if you need some fabric. He made our metal sign. Yes. So he can fab.
He can definitely fab. All right, let's talk about the future in the crystal ball.
Future, what's going on?
Well, we have in the modified ranks is what we're talking about. Fair.
Yep.
So the tracks are going to do what the tracks are going to do. There's an issue coming at Meridian Speedway in particular because they're going to run out of the the Goodyear takeoff from the K&N
right.
series.
So that's a
so
huge.
they're looking at replacement tires, the American Racers, takeoff from another series. Possibly there might be another series you can get some tires from, but one way or another, their tire needs to change. So
well, it is changing.
There's no
it's
choice.
what path they're going to go.
Yeah, and Adam did a great job getting that tire. It's made some racing affordable for a lot of folks.
God, yeah. Again, I almost bought one a couple years ago.
Yeah,
before I made Tucker.
Okay, and so we're looking at what Adam's done there. Where are they going to go? What are they going to do? And they're kind of at a crossroads there, and there's a division in that group. There's 3-4 fast ones. There's a couple in the middle, and there's some guys that are out there having a good time, just like any class. So who does it affect? It depends on which class you're in. How much does it affect you? Looking at Magic Valley Speedway, a lot of things going on there. What are they going to do? How are they going to do it? I don't know. Rocky Mountain's the only one really that's a known entity. What's going to happen next year to the racetrack? It's not going to be there. The Freeport West guys killed them off. So, and I've said it on this program before, and I'll say it again. I think Spencer Young killed them off. I don't think they even looked for a new track. I don't care. I've done racing there.
It's in a world of I don't fucking care.
Oh, fuck them.
I care, but at the same time, it's already a done deal.
That's my parents. Those of you that don't know this and might be watching, my parents are from Salt Lake. I've been going to races there since I could walk. So it is my home away from home.
Crystal ball.
Right. So we know that. Does he want me to leave the show? Do you think he wants me to get up and go home?
Because he'll do it, Doc.
You want me to go home too?
No.
You guys piling up.
No, I'm trying to. I told you I'm going to keep you reeled in. My job is to follow my whiteboard and to reel you in.
All right. So Crystal Ball, we know what's going on there. The Royal Purple Modified Series, we know that our Royal Purple sponsorship for our title sponsors up this year. We may get them back. We don't know. We don't know what we got going there right now.
Well, let's do Royal Purple here in a moment because we have some big things with that happening.
What?
With I-10.
No, but we're in the future right now, dumbass. That's why.
Well, you have to grow again. Feeder series up. Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
So I already talked about Meridian.
Right.
I talked about Salt Lake. Talked about Magic Valley. What other track? Pocatello. You want me to talk about?
Fuck Pocatello. They don't talk to us anymore.
Okay. No, they do.
They don't send me nothing.
I love those guys. Leave them alone.
Whatever.
So the guys over in Pocatello, they're doing a great job.
Right.
And I know that we're going to have the Hunsaker cars with us the rest of the year in the Royal Purple Series.
Nice.
Red and Water are going to be running with us the rest of the year. Excited. And I better get my goddamn T-shirt because those T-shirts were bitching, and my fat butt needs a new shirt.
Do not give him a shirt before I give a shirt. 2XL, please. 3XL. I've lost some weight.
DJ's like 3XL, 2XL.
We need a Turn5.Live 3X.
We need hats and T-shirts for a series. So if you're out there and you want to, sponsor us hats and T-shirts, put your name all over them, but say Turn5.Live, we're in.
Right, there we go. All right, so it's still going forward. We've got a.
Can I go forward now?
No, we got a title sponsor open on the Royal Purple.
Possibly, I haven't talked to him yet.
Right. Well, it's contract renewal time. We're in free agency.
Yes.
The Royal Purple mods do have the I-10 deal coming on, which if you guys haven't seen, I know of the tens of people who are watching.
We're up to this is the highest we've ever had.
In any one show. See, I told you if we talk about a controversial subject, we'll get more than like 7 viewers.
But then I hear about it for 2 weeks.
I don't care.
You don't care. I know that part.
Wait till we talk mini stocks.
That didn't work. We had 12 people.
But we didn't talk mini stocks. We just had like.
So let's talk about I-10.
Right.
Our friends, John, Val, who are both listening tonight. They're good friends. Levi on the website side. I'm damn glad I met these people. Beyond what they're doing for the series
is my word for that.
These are just some cool freaking
all
people.
of them.
The whole group. My life's better because they're friends of mine. And like you are, and like DJ is, and my other friends, people that are watching, my life's better because of them. So, and I know they're watching tonight because they're throwing shit at me over here on the page. So, thank you guys for what you do. Nobody has said thank you enough because it's impossible to. But promoting our series, we've gotten so many accolades on that. So, I-10 filming the races. They're bound to release our first TV show episode of
pilot.
a race. Yeah, kind of.
Or demo.
Yeah, and what I really want to reach out for is the 29 people that are listening. I really want to reach out and say that our next race, August 4th at Meridian Speedway, is our next opportunity to really have some material so these guys can build us a neat show. And I'd like to invite everyone to come, regardless of what motor size you have or whatever. Let's just all get together and build a cohesive unit. Within the Royal Purple Modified Series, you'll always have your say. You'll always have your say of how you want things done. We listen as much as we can. It's a tough gig having the promoter on one side, the racer on the other, the sponsor on the other, and the fans, which is most important to me. The fans down here. It's being in that middle. It's like being on a dice. You know, you have the number 5 on a dice. You have a point here, a point here, a point here, a point here. You're the guy in the middle getting it from all directions. I put that on myself, and I want that because I think I can make it better. Working with people like I-10 and like what we're doing here tonight, I-10 does the stuff I can't do very well. Right? I'm not good at what they do. And
not many people are.
They're very, very good. And they're very, very good at what they do. So I see what's going on down the road for the Royal Purple Modified Series. It's where I should have been. I should have had I-10 from day one. If I'd had them from we would already be fully televised. We'd be on every Friday night in the United States.
Around the world.
We'd be there.
Yeah.
So where we're going is awesome. We just got to have these racetracks healthy so we can afford to go to them. And they're working.
And well lit.
And well lit. Yes. Yes. What the hell was that?
I don't know.
Fucking great video. And they're like, fuck you. Those guys that was great. I don't know what they're talking about. The stuff from Hermiston with no lighting was incredible. So they're professional people and they do a very good job. And they like what we do and they're going to have a say in the future of this. And that's important because there's stuff I don't know that they know and we need that. Other things, people, the racers coming to us and bringing it and making it better. The more heads, the better. The old adage is the more people you involve, the better the solution is. There are some things that I have to impart to them knowledge-wise that I don't always have the time to sit down and tell them why.
Right.
Why are you doing it this way? How long do you have? Do you have the 2 hours for me to explain it to you? Or you can just take my word, it's the way it has to be. Sometimes it's got to be that way because time is in the essence. Because our series for 2019 starts September 23rd this year.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's the day after our last race. The Sunday after our last race. Right? So
let's call it Monday then, because that's recovery.
Well, I'm going to Europe the 26th. We got to get it going.
Yeah, just message me, Donovan at Turn5.Live.
So I-10 says they're starting a fundraiser so the tracks can have better lighting. That's great. We'll do a bake sale. We'll do an ice water challenge.
Well, if we go back to Oregon, we will have a special bake sale.
There you go. Yeah. Special bake. Well, I'll be big.
You can only eat those after races.
Good Lord.
I guess Salt Lake is that way as well now. So
I don't know. But we're not going back.
Shit.
I already motherfucked the racetrack tonight, so they're probably not going to never let me back anyway. But anyway, so that's what I see for us. As far as Meridian Speedway, what I see for the future, Adam will fix this. And he knows that this is a bit whack.
It's frustrating as hell.
Adam has a plan.
When I put my business owner hat on, I get so frustrated.
Well, when he puts his business hat on, he had 20 people, 20 different cars to the back gate last night, which brought X amount of fans. His business hat's fine.
Yeah.
But he's got to remember who his captive customer is. The captive customer is the guy who has the race car in his garage and wants to come race it. That's the guy who you got it. That's your first customer. Second customer is the fans.
I see. I've
always
always
to be that way, and he knows that. Adam,
right? No, yeah, I can't criticize and tell him how to do his job because he's fucking good at it.
He'll fix it.
Yeah.
And
in Adam we trust.
I imagine it'll be within the next 2 weeks.
WWAD.
In Adam we trust. And
please don't let him hear this.
Well, he'll hear it. He's already heard it. He's probably hearing it right now. But Adam and I banter back and forth because we both go way back, right?
Banter.
And quite often he knows what I'm going to say before I even say it because he knows that. And there's contentious times, but it all ends up in the wash. So we're pushing the same rope. Fans. For health of the racetracks. That's why the Royal Purple Modified Series exists, is for health of the racetrack. Yeah. And if it's not helping the racetrack, it'll go away. So I believe at this point it still is, and the racetracks feel that way, so we're still here. And for 2019, 3 racetracks have hit us up already for wanting us to race at their racetrack next year, and they're not these 2 that we race at here locally. I still have an obligation to take care of these 2 racetracks first.
Atomic.
Now you're racing on the dirt. No, I'm not saying which racetracks either.
That's fine. No, but that until not PIR, but the Warpa. And after
Warp, yeah, we won't announce the schedule.
I want to go to Warpa.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You can come to Warpa. You'll be my right hand bitch.
Better as a lefty.
I went last year. It was a blast.
Was it? God, really?
You got to go, Donovan.
I was within days of going last year.
Were you sitting there with me in the series thing, DJ?
No, they had.
No, I was with Bob Cobley.
Yeah.
But
they had all the pictures of the roundup.
Yeah, Bob was in my room with me when we were in the series room.
Yep, I was in the same room. I remember.
Yeah, it was a very interesting Warpa this last year.
Yeah, I want to be a part of that. At least to be a fly on the wall. That'd be fun.
You want to go to PRI? I'm not going to PRI this year.
Well, then give me your ticket.
I'm going to the Chili Bowl.
Oh, you're killing me.
All 7 nights. No,
you are?
No,
I gotta stop being I'm gonna go get a day job so I can take vacation days.
We need to watch Southwest and get flights because they go from Boise to Denver to Tulsa, and you got to get your flights early. So as soon as the flights are available, you just got to book them, and then figure out tickets for the Chili Bowl. You'll figure that out when you get there or something. I don't know. All
right, so we got about 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
So
I want to hear some more questions from the panel. I want to hear you guys, you 26 people that are currently watching. What questions might you have? I'll answer anything tonight.
What do you got? Everybody, we have a lot of chatting going on, but no real questions. Of course, I don't think anything tonight has been a surprise for our regular viewers. Only because I would say at least 90% of our viewers there are mod regulars anyway, which is again one of the reasons why I wanted to really hit this topic today.
It's a good one. What is the 11th special spice in KFC?
11 herbs.
Ganja. It's ganja.
I would say it's MSG.
I'd say it's ganja.
Guapo. Is it guapo? Guano.
Bat shit. All right. So how many dates are you shooting for next season? Well, this year we did 11 race dates on 10 different weekends. I love the 2-day shows. One of the tracks wants us for a 2-day show. It's a heck of a drive. So it'd have to be, it'd have to pencil, you know how that is, Sam. Sam Newcomer asked the question. We like that 10 weekend thing. That gives us some time. Like right now we're in the 4-week break. Right now we're in the middle of the summer break. I don't like being out there. I'm fat, if you haven't noticed. I don't like being out there at the racetrack.
It's hotter than shit. Holy shit, it was so hot yesterday.
I know it. And we've been very lucky. It hasn't been that hot at the racetrack. We actually didn't really. We had one cold, windy night at Magic, but that was about it.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was windy.
I want to talk about I-10. They sent out an invitation to us just now on the website. Meridian will be our first test run for a real episode of the TV show. So we need everyone, please come to the racetrack. Let's get every freaking swinging dick race car.
Make them pretty, shave. Get over here. Put some lion tamer beard carry in there.
I said shave at the same time.
Right.
So we get some lion tamer, get your greased up. But we need every car. I want to see a 20-car field at Meridian. We've been down on car count this year, and for whatever reason, cars wrecked, cars crashed. We should have everyone back. That's EVA Destruction at Meridian Speedway.
Holy shit, that's going to be a big night.
Yes, if you've never been to an EVA Destruction, I-10, you'll love this.
I-10, our little Australian boy. Holy crap, you're in for a treat.
And you should talk to
Bring
Adam
all your
about
cameras.
filming everything. You should talk to Adam about filming the whole thing for a TV show, by the way. There will not be an empty seat at Meridian Speedway.
It is sold out. Get there before 6:30 or you're not getting in.
There will not be
room only.
Yep. In the pits as well. Don't think you're going to bring a whole crew because shit.
Well,
it's nuts in there.
Yeah. And they like us on those dates. Adam had us on those dates because we run our own show and he doesn't have to worry about us because he's worried about smashing and crashing and blowing stuff up.
Right.
And jumping stuff and things that make
smashing and crashing.
Yes.
And blowing shit up happens. EVA Destruction.
So
it's dropping stuff out of the air.
What's that, bud?
Dropping stuff out of the air as well.
Yeah. How high can we get a race car up in the air and drop it?
Yeah.
And blow it
It's
up.
like 150 feet or something.
Jet cars. Let's see.
No shit.
Is the van coming back out or is that done?
The gauntlet?
Yeah.
Of course the gauntlet's going to be.
I thought the van broke.
There'll be another gauntlet. DJ will bring a bus.
I could no.
DJ is a bus driver. Are they on the phone? So he'll bring a bus out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I don't know what happened. I left it in the KFC parking lot getting some Cheetos, and all of a sudden, bam! It was gone.
And she was gone.
She was gone. Yeah, we're going hee-haw tonight, aren't we? Right on.
Right.
Gloom, despair,
I'm
and agony
old.
on me. Anyway, so Eva Destruction, the gauntlet, the ultimate gauntlet race.
Yep.
If you ever want to YouTube Roseburg, Oregon, Douglas County Speedway Gauntlet Race, you'll see our friend Jim Burgess.
We got a ton of them here
I'm
on
just telling
YouTube.
you. No, this was a special gauntlet race. Super modified guys running the gauntlet.
No
I
shit.
can't describe it. All I know is that when the gauntlet flipped over, it rolled end over end, and Burgess came out holding the porta potty from inside the motorhome. It was incredible.
Oh, okay. I watched that.
Because we all thought he was dead, right? He comes walking out holding the porta potty from the shitter
That's
Oh,
insane.
it was awesome. It was awesome.
Anyway, hey, Salt Lake guys, if you are listening, if you're not racing on the 4th, trust me. Or is it the 4th? Yeah, 4th. Get up here. Whetstone, your little blue and yellow hot rod that I'm in love with. Let's bring it up.
Yeah, the 00
Carter.
NAPA car.
Yeah, God,
Tyler's
I love
car.
that car.
That's a good looking race car.
It's
we have
my
a couple
favorite one.
questions.
Oh, yeah.
Street Stock 51. I don't know who you are, so you got to tell me your name, but that's cool. Apparently, he missed it or she missed it. Are the K&N takeoffs going away?
Yes.
Well, they're going to a different tire. This year,
Right.
they're running a different tire than the bias ply that you've been running. So
Right.
the radial tire probably isn't something worth using again. So they're going away.
So the radial tire, what are they using? Do we know what radial tire they're going to?
They're already there.
What radial tire are they on? Because I don't watch K&N. I don't watch
It's a
NASCAR.
Goodyear radial. It's
Okay.
a tire like the Winston Cup car.
Okay.
Rather
So
than,
once it's used, it's done. There's no second life
pretty
on
much.
that thing.
Heat cycles suck on it or something.
Yep.
Street Stock 51 asked, yes, it was really hot at Meridian Speedway. Mike Davis, one of the Rebel Modified guys, I understand that the cars do not meet the rules, and you're not a fan of you full fab big horsepower tire car.
I'm going to point out that is a Todd thing, not a Donovan thing.
I'm a very much a fan of super modifieds and sprint cars,
Yeah.
but budget-wise, Mike, if you have that, you're going to have 5 cars.
Yeah.
So I'm not dumb. So let's look.
Yeah, the difference in
hang
there
on,
does.
Let me read this again because I don't want to make sure I'm not fucking it up, and I don't want to make Mike mad. I understand that the cars don't meet the rules, and you're not a fan of full fabricated, big horsepower, big tire car, but isn't kind of like a super modified in the modified form. We all know you love super mods. Of course, I love super mods, but I want to have a series that has more than 6 or 7 cars. If you go back in your history of those exact cars that you're running, the exact cars that you were in last night, they all came out of the Northwest Modified Association. They had 6 of them at max 3, 4, or 5 years ago. They died out because of the cost.
Yeah,
So the 970 is a cost saver. Okay, there's a reason why the Lucas Oil Modified Series, the North State Modified Series, and the Royal Purple Modified Series have had the success we've had is because of the tires that we run. It limits how much the horsepower you can get down to the racetrack. It keeps the small teams in it. The current 970 you can use 5, 6 times. And those of you that run them know I'm not shitting you. The tire is better the second and third heat cycle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's true.
I've been around a while. And Donovan, you had to talk to me about this earlier today. Once in a while, I just got to tell you, because I've experienced it. I've screwed up enough, and I've done things wrong for long enough that I learned from my mistakes. I had a Pro 4 Tour that was on the gumball tire. The 700 series they're running now is a much better series. It's a better tire. Mike Hunter's on here. He'll tell you the truth. It's a better tire than what they're currently running right now. It saves them money. Okay.
Yeah.
Looking for putting on the promoter's hat. Yeah, I'd love to see y'all on super gumball tires turning 12s. Nobody can afford that. Nobody can afford. You give Don Newman that car. Last night he was on the same rules package you guys were on. He was going to lap you in another 3-4 laps before the yellow came out.
Yeah, they were coming.
He was on you.
And that's
not fun.
I've talked at length today.
I love you,
about
Mike.
that.
I'm just telling you the truth.
I talked at length with Mike about that not long ago, and I love what those Troyers are as for an individual thing. I love late models, I love super late models. I love what they can do. I love watching fast cars sit and rotate and go fast around a corner.
Who doesn't?
Right. Is it a modified in the traditional sense of what is a stock car trying to turn left desperately? No, it's not. I mean, I love them. And again, as I started the program, when I close my eyes and I think of modified, I think of what I was introduced to in the mid 80s, early 80s in Alabama, with big motor, big tire, fast car. Oh, I love it. I love
They're incredible.
it.
They're incredible, but you can't have them every week because you'll have 5 cars.
It's not a what do they call them? Club. It's not a club series, and it's not a regional tour series. That's a big tour series.
Yeah, and those also have how many millions and millions of people to pull from? And they got a racetrack every 25 miles.
Right. Oh yeah, back east.
Yeah, we don't have that. We got to look at what we have.
I grew up with 4 half-mile, 3/8 mile track, or not 3/8, 5/8, 7/8, the big track, not less than a mile, between Mobile International, Pensacola.
Mobile's a beautiful race.
Oh my God, we ran.
I want to follow up. Some
sorry, hit it. Sorry.
The Street Stock 51 that's been asking some great questions. That's Gary Kyle. So thank you, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Mike chimed back in and said, "Hey, I'm just taking the opportunity that I may never get in. I want healthy racing." Just
hell yeah, brother!
Because Mike Davis is one of us.
He's a mini stocker. Iron Mike.
Those of you that know me know I'm a mini stock guy.
Right.
From way back. So anyway, I'm with you, Michael. We love you. We're just being honest.
Dude, we were rooting and cheering for you. And I mean, you got second.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, brother.
Screaming for you, by the way.
Dude. We were wanting you to clear that traffic faster.
Yeah. Donovan, we were rooting for you. Let's look at Morgan 64. That's Morgan Rasmussen.
Yep.
They said, look at how many supers there are now. He's talking about super late models or super stocks or whatever.
Okay.
There are now. Rebel modifieds will become big bucks to compete in.
Oh, fast. Next year,
yes.
No one will be able to afford to be in it.
Yes, and if
because 2 people are going to figure it out, and no one else can afford it.
I had one of the richest guys I know last night tell me straight up to my face. He goes, "You should put your series on that late model tire. They're so much faster."
Yeah,
and I went, "For you, you'd be the only one that can tire it up every week." And he goes, "Well," and I said, "Don," or I don't know his name. I didn't say his name.
Person,
I can't do that because the 970 makes it affordable. You can run 4 or 5 times.
What are the 2 things I say make every class?
I got to say, you build your series not for the fast guys. You build your series for the middle and the pack. That's why I pay so much to start my mains. I don't pay very much to win. And those of you that run my series know that, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
Nope. 2 things that always make a class: your tires and your tech.
And we're getting better at tech, and we got to get better at tech.
Yeah. If you have a class tire that makes it so that your middle guys can compete, and you tech so that the middle guys know that the guys who are spanking them are legal, and they're just better minds, you build a class out of that.
There's always going to be money.
Let's be real. Who wants to go out there every week and get spanked by the guy that's got the most money?
I don't unload for 5th.
Yeah,
that's not my deal.
So, no. So there you
go. Somebody else posted that in that Royal Purple Mod discussion. Yeah, I'm not going to unload if I can't compete. I mean, I accept that there's going to be somebody who's going to be faster, and in a tour series like what you guys have, I ain't got that kind of dollars. I want to compete. I want to run wheels. I want to power around some on the high side and work for every inch of that. Mm-hmm. But if I've got absolutely no chance of getting a top 3. I'm not gonna unload my car off the trailer.
Let's take the money aspect out of it, and let's leave it to driver, setup knowledge, and like we said, tech. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Anyway, so that's the gist of our show, guys. It's 8:33. We've actually started a minute early and gone 3 minutes over, like the first time ever.
It was a good show.
No, that was fun. And thank you both for humoring me, Todd. I appreciate. I saw your face getting red and you're breathing. Okay, 2 more.
I got a bunch more.
Yeah, we can go all night long. DJ, if you're good, we'll just keep running.
I want to wrap it up.
No, I want to go drink another beer. My kid's making noise. He's asking.
Mike and Marcy Hunter from the Northwest Pro 4 Alliance. They're the promoters and owners of the Northwest Pro 4 Alliance are online tonight. And incidentally, thank you all for wishing Mike speedy recovery. Michael had a heart attack Tuesday. No. And Mike's not a longtime friend of mine, but he's become a very close friend of mine. And Marcy, and they're wonderful. They helped us out at Hermiston.
Good guy.
And yeah, he is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And he had a heart attack. He had a stent put in. Thank God he caught it early. He's doing great. He's home.
Oh, good.
He's going to recover and he's listening tonight. So, Michael, we love you. And everybody tip your beer to Michael. Let's give Michael the clap. Yeah, you got the clap, Mike.
Recover from that, buddy.
So he says, yes, the lower budget teams love the new tire that they put in to the Northwest Pro 4 Alliance. It's a much better tire for them. Gary Kyle agreed with what we're saying. Sam Newcomer said, absolutely, tires are the equalizer.
Yeah.
And this man's been around about 15 different racetracks. So Morgan, once again, Rasmussen will really love racing Adam Series because it's very affordable, and Adam does a great job. He does. However, we are planning on running some RPM Series races in 19, but travel costs are our deterrent. Understood. I-10 TV said, do I still get free dinner for the music video? Abso-goddamn-lutely.
I have a pile of burgers.
Well, I was going Chili Mac. Chili ramen? We can mix it up.
We'll do it.
All right. We're buying for you. Actually, here's the deal.
I have a case of Sloppy Joe.
If you and Johnny come to Meridian
on the 4th.
On the 3rd.
3rd. Friday night?
Barbecue at my house.
I'm game.
Anybody that comes, we're going to have some fun. I'm going to cook down
Thursday night practice.
We'll make Kyle
Friday night barbecue.
Do the smoker.
Oh God, yeah.
Because I got my smoker and his smoker. He'll smoke the shit out of stuff.
So let me write this down. August 3rd, right?
You got to come home.
Yeah, you got to be here for that.
I will. I'll be home by then.
But we'll have a barbecue over my house.
I will walk my fat happy ass over there.
And a special plate for I-10. We'll make sure they get the special treatment.
We'll have to put some shrimp on the bobby.
Yeah,
I got shrimp.
Well, whatever. Those guys love the show. Thanks, guys. Love the show from Mike Davis. Thank you very much. Gary Kyle, tires and better tech. Absolutely. We're doing that.
Tires and tech.
Mike says he loves us too. And thanks for everything. No strings attached. I have no idea who that is, but thanks for everything, guys.
No strings attached. That's my kind of girl. Where are we at?
This string broke.
Make sure you get his number, Donovan. Get his number.
Never heard of her.
I don't judge.
I can't read that. I think we're done. Street Stock 51 have to catch up on the shows. New subscriber, like the shows.
Oh yeah, hey guys. Speaking of new subscribers, click the subscribe button. Click the little bell so you get notified whenever we go online.
Ding,
ding,
ding.
We're just gonna keep getting better at this.
We haven't had a power down or a blow up in like
I don't know
2 shows.
We simplified the shit and it works better. And as we come across more and more of these topics, we're going to hit up, we'll change up the formula. We're still going to hit off all of our, what's coming up, what's happened. I do want to get Trevor Christiani on here because
we're overdue for Trevor Christiani, Dirk Myers.
Dirk Myers.
We'll get Dirk Myers in here.
We got to cover more of the dirt stuff. I know we have to.
I don't understand.
There's got to be a way.
We'll get Dirk Myers in here. Eventually we'll get Strobel in here. Shelby Strobel.
Oh, no, the other one.
What?
The pretty one.
Yeah, he's leave his daughter alone. My God, you weirdo. Fuck. See what I got to put up with? But we'll get more people as we go more into the series. Eve of Destruction before Eve, we'll get Adam in here before our race.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, we'll either tape something with him. Sunday's his cool down day. Steve Mulder would be a great guy to get in here.
I think
Steve is fun. Steve is one of the funniest people you ever meet.
I've had my own personal run-ins with Mulder, and I
tried to kill him.
What? Ouch! I would love to have some beer time with Mulder. That's just me, though.
Okay,
you're here first.
Levi's here. Oh, no strings attached. It's Levi, the webmaster. If you notice that the Royal Purple Modified Series website is much better, and the page works, that's Levi Butters. So Levi, tip of the cap, Levi, and give him a clap. And give him a clap. You got the clap, Levi. And Mike Miniger, whatever that means. All right, Mike's watching. That'd be great. All right. Have fun on your late model, guys. Everybody have fun. Thank you for tuning in tonight for Turn5.Live, for DJ Everett, for Donovan Johns.
And all of our sponsors.
All of our sponsors, of course, here at the show. You can click down, scroll down, take a look at all those guys. My name's Todd Lebroni. We'll see you at the races.
Booyah.
See you. Good stuff.